Welcome to Instablogs Global Report. This is Sukhmani with fresh updates and citizen voices from all over the world. Top stories for the day are: Zambia fondly remembers its late president Mr. Moana Wasa. Sao Paulo's map of violence registers a steady decline. Homosexuals in Malawi begin gay rights movement. And the people of Sagada continue burying their dead in hanging coffins. Zambia is mourning the death of its president, Mr. Moana Wasa. The late leader is being remembered for bringing political stability and economic prosperity to the country. CJ Brenda Zulu reports on Mr. Moana Wasa's eventful tenure.
This is Brenda Zulu, citizen journalist reporting from Zambia for Instablogs. Dr. Levi Mwanawasa, who died in France, deserves to be remembered more fondly. He made serious efforts to cleanse corruption in Zambia. Because of that, capital poured in. Zambia's mineral-rich economy soured and crashed according to the world commodity prices, but its recent growth at 6% or so a year, driven by copper exports, should be attributed to decent policies that kept inflation low and helped spread benefits to the poor. The economy was benefited by tourists and white farmers who diverted from Zimbabwe. Liberalization and Dr. Mwanawasa's solid efforts resulted to more aid and debt relief. Zambia is one of Africa's biggest recipients of Chinese investment in mining and agriculture. Dr. Mwanawasa was a rare voice among Africa's leaders who criticized Mr. Robert Mugabe's misrule and demanded a change of course. 7 years of Dr. Mwanawasa's rule has seen more changes for a better Zambia.
Community policing by members of civil society has begun to yield results for Sao Paulo. The city has registered a steady decline in the number of homicidal cases. CJ Celso has more from Brazil.
This is Celso Camargo, reporting for Instablogs. In São Paulo, the most populous state, the violence is being reduced systematic, and an Irish Catholic priest took the initiative and started something that would change the lives of millions in São Paulo. At first, James Crow mobilized the community, and then they started to pressure the state government, which resulted in the creation of the Brazil's first community police force. The results until today cannot be completely understood by the social scientists. The homicide rate was reduced to 33 in 5 years. This example of determination had become a model to be followed here. The Map of Violence, an official publication that has all information about violent death in Brazil, pointed these actions from civil society as the most viable solution to the criminality and violence. Indeed, because laws and police cannot resolve by themselves this kind of problem, it is necessary people who care about each other to start something new.
Malawi's homosexuals have formed an association called Gay Rights Movement to fight the country's repressive laws against homosexuality. CJ George reports on gay movement from Malawi.
This is George Nkandawile, citizen journalist reporting from Instablogs. Even when Malawi has an active population of approximately 100,000, they have never come publicly to express themselves because of the country's repressive laws. Malawi constitution outlaws homosexuality and it's a criminal offense punishable by imprisonment with hard labor, but contrary to this, gays have decided to come forth because they want their views to be held, treated, protected like a normal Malawian citizen. For this purpose, Malawian homosexuals have formed an association that is named Malawi Gay Rights Movement. This movement will surely place Malawi society and the constitution to accept gays as people meeting in the sexual community, are prominent business persons, politicians, artists, journalists, and clerics. Malawi's always active gay operation yearn for recognition, but it remains to be seen as to how long will it take for the constitution in particular to determine homosexuality and society in general to accept them. However, it seems that they have to wait a little too longer to find well-wishers and meet equal treatment.
The people of Sagada in Philippines continue with the ancient practice of burying their dead in coffins that hang precariously from the mountain cliff. CJ Millerfell Hope Orr reports on hanging coffins of Sagada.
This is Noel Filipawas, citizen journalist for Instablogs from the Philippines. The people of Sagada have devised a unique burial ritual involving the placement of dead relatives into caves after carefully preparing a hollowed-out log. This ritual involves pushing the bodies into the tight spaces of the coffins, and often bones are cracked and broken as the process is completed. After the deceased are put inside these coffins, they are brought to caves high in the cliffs where they join the coffins of other ancestors. The Sagada people prefer to be buried in the cliffs than to be buried in the ground, and have been doing this for more than 2,000 years. In some caves, hundreds of coffins are lined up, and unfortunately, tourists are unregulated in this area. Some have even taken some of the bones as souvenirs. The tourists should refrain from robbing the graves and must show respect towards this century-old tradition that promises heaven for the deceased ancestors.
If you want your voice to be heard by millions, let Instablogs be your choice. You can contact us at cj@instablogs.com. That's all for today's show. We'll be back with fresh updates and more voices. Till then, it's goodbye from the entire team of Global Report.